Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Charles here, and I've got a little bit of food for you, of course. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Because I get so much shit, and this country, as I've stated before, it's so depressing to be a little bit chubby, and I know I've got problems, and it pisses me off. So many people make fun of my weight here. When back home, I don't think I would have that many issues. Not that many people are going to say anything because I don't consider myself that big, that extremely obese. I wear a size 34, okay? My shirt's extra large, Funny story, I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but I was in Zara, okay? I bought this extra large shirt. Everything here, it's frustrating to find clothes that fit. Everywhere I go, to find a shirt, a button shirt, everything says slim fit, everything's slim fucking fit, man. You go in there, I try to find something, I found some t-shirt, extra large, I never try anything on, I thought, man, if it's extra large, I can wear it. Get home, it's tight, it shows my curves, man. And they're not too much to be, proud of. And so I took it back in there, it was raining, I went in there, I didn't expect to see anybody I knew, Listen to my music, I go up to the lady and I said, hey, I need to return this, it's extra large. I said, do you have anything bigger? And she said, it's the biggest we have. And I was like, oh shit. I said, just to make a joke, I said, you need an American section in here, and she laughed. I go in there, I found a shirt that looked bigger. I went into the back to try it on, I come back out, it fit okay, So I come back out, and this beautiful young lady, she turns around and she says, hi. She said, I bet you didn't know who, you would see someone you knew in here. And she spoke perfect English, and I said, no. I said, how you doing? And she said, she's from Chicago. Her dad watches me on YouTube, and she follows me on Facebook. And so I was so humiliated, man. And then at that point, I thought, you know what? I've got time here. I'm off work. I've got to get in shape. I've got to get out. I've got to get some of this extra baggage, taken off. Because here, like I said, it's tough to be chubby because people aren't chubby here. Older people are, yeah. When you get into 50s, 60s, I see a lot of people with a gut. Young people, well, I consider myself young still. But most young people don't. They're all active. They walk around. They ride a bicycle. They look good, And then there's me. And so, that's the reason I get my hair cut once a week, trying to look somewhat fucking decent in this country, but it's hard in the Balkans here, in Serbia. Beautiful, beautiful people, and it just makes you feel like shit. And as I'm telling you all of this, I'm getting ready to show you a food here. Jesus God. But you know what? I've got to eat, right? So I'm going to show you a food today. What do we have? Let me see what we have. Something here, and I apologize because I don't know what it is, but they're little stuffed, it's like breaded things with potato inside. The lady told me. It tastes like a hush puppy. Similar. It's corn inside, I'll show you in a second. But I had one a minute ago. I'm sure they're not that healthy, but it looks like, I don't even know because I don't cook. But the lady told me it's potato with, something around it. But it's good. And then I got some mashed potatoes. We all know what that is. And I love mashed potatoes. So I'm going to fucking eat these mashed potatoes along with this other potato thing. But the main thing I wanted to show you is this right here, because this is a super, super, super food here in Serbia. It's called Musaka. Okay? Musaka is really good. I heard it came from the Turks a long, long time ago. It was introduced here from Turkey. But regardless, we're not in Turkey. We're in Serbia, and every country makes food differently, And that's something I get so frustrated with when I post videos when these assholes from other places write to me saying things like, that's not a Serbian food, that's a blah, blah, blah food. And no shit. Okay? Same in the USA, as I've stated before. If I eat a goddamn hot dog in Chicago, it's a Chicago hot dog. It's an American hot dog because we do it differently. Maybe we didn't create the hot dog, but we have a different way of doing it. Pizza. Of course, we didn't create pizza. We didn't invent pizza in the USA. Italy probably did, right? But in the USA, it's so much better and it's so different. Chicago, you got Chicago-style pizza this fucking thick. St. Louis is known for thin crust pizza. Here in Serbia, in this part of Europe, they put ketchup on it. Everybody's different, you know, they do a little things different. That's why I show foods. And Musaka here, Musaka is similar to something maybe, I'm not a food genius, I just like to eat. But Musaka is similar, we would call it maybe like similar to a potato casserole like. You know, on top of it, you've got potatoes, of course. Oh my God, I'm eating potatoes, like 3 different kinds of potatoes. And talking about losing weight, I didn't realize it's possible, you know? But potatoes on top, not cheese, but this is maybe pavlika or I don't know, and meat in the middle of it. So it's like layers. Potatoes, this pavlika, like sour cream stuff, meat, more potatoes, more sour cream, more meat and potatoes. So it's like a bunch of potatoes in a little thing. It's something we would call a, I know it's something we would consider a casserole in the USA, you know. So let me show you this little devil, and I'm going to eat it because I'm very, very hungry, and I shouldn't. It's just really good. It's beautiful, actually. Really tasty, and it's pretty cheap. I got all of this big thing of mashed potatoes, this big thing of Musaka that I'll show you up close, and like 6 of these little potato fried things. It was 450 dinara, which is like $4.50, okay? And this is a fast food place that you can go here in this city. And, you know, you can't beat it. Here, McDonald's is 500 dinar, that's $5, you know, or a little bit more, 580 for this new thing they have, the classic meal. But this is less than that, somewhat healthy. You know, if you don't eat a shit pot like I do, it's good. Anyway, let me show you this. I'm going to get the hell off here and eat. Here's what we've got. This is what we call, oh, well, those things. Maybe you Serbians will know, so leave me a note. I don't know what they call it. The lady told me, I asked her, but I don't remember. It was a strange name. But this is what it is. It's like a, it's similar to, like I told you, it's similar to a, kako se kaže, hush puppy, because that's potato inside. Okay? Mashed potatoes, we don't have to show you that. But this is Musaka, okay? I'm going to show you a little bit closer. If I can get her focused. On top it's got sour cream, it's got a tomato, some basil or something. This is the potatoes inside, okay? You got the potatoes, you remove it, and then you got this creamy stuff here that I think is like sour cream and meat. Another layer here and more meat down there. See that? Like a bunch of potatoes. Really good stuff, man. So Google it. Musaka is what it is. Really good shit. Okay, my friends? Pozdrav.